about Cucurella's position today. At times he was the highest forward. Must have been something you worked on and something you enjoyed today. He played really well.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of an injury crisis at the moment with Esteval, Ali Garnacho, Pedro Neto, Jesse Derry now, all carrying injuries. So we had to be a little bit creative. We know it's not Cucu's best position, but even from left back, he's very good in terms of making runs off the ball and in behind fullbacks. And I thought we did that really well today. So it's definitely something we were looking to exploit and needs must at times.
Levi Colwill today, you must be buzzing to have him back. I thought he was brilliant for being out for a year and to come into a game like this up against the firepower that Liverpool got. I thought he played really well. Yeah,
I thought Levi was probably the best player on the pitch for me. He allows us to defend man for man on the last line, so we can be really aggressive. He can play. The left foot's a lovely balance in terms of when you're building up. I thought he did everything at a really high level today. And like you said, first game in nearly a year, like it just speaks about his character and who he is.
Yeah, we could throw it forward. Obviously, next week's like massive game for the club, massive game for you. When do you start thinking about Manchester City in the FA Cup final this week? Or is that 5 minutes ago when he was walking over it?
No, I think in this schedule and the level of opposition you're playing, you try and focus on the game in the moment, but you always need to have one eye on what's coming up. So it'll be the same when we're prepping for Manchester City. We've got Spurs coming up really quickly, so you try and get ahead of things, but you also have to live in the moment and focus on the moment. So we wanted to give everything we could to this game, and we've done that now. So we'll have a day off tomorrow and start getting our head around how we're going to prepare for another top level opposition.
Like you said, you wanted to give everything for this game. How vital was it to get a bit of positivity, a bit of momentum heading into that and get that losing streak to an end?
Yeah, 100%. I felt like we could have won the game. That would have been even better. I feel like there were moments that didn't quite go our way that in my opinion, we deserved to win that game. That would have given us even more. But you're right. We've recovered a little bit from the Forest game. We've shown who we are as a group, who they are as people, and we need to build on that for Saturday, which will be another massive challenge.
There've been lots of questions about this group of players, especially recently, especially after the Forest game, about the fight, the desire. How have you found working with the group?
Yeah, I see them every day, so it's easier for me to say. It's not a cliche. I see them work every day. I see what they put in. I see the effort and commitment they put in, and it's just disappointing that it didn't come out in the game in every moment of the game against Forest. But you saw that today. That for me, we can't question that. We just need to do that on a more consistent basis.
How big an honour will it be for you next Saturday at Wembley, leading this team out?
Yeah, it's a really unique situation. It's not one that I expected to be in. There's been a lot of good work done before to get to this point, and I just have to support the club and support the players and the team in this moment. But the players have earned the right to be there, so it's more about them than me, I think, personally.
What do you think of the chances now after that point today against this Manchester City side?
It's going to be a tough game. They're a top side, but this team has shown that they can compete when they're at their best. They can compete with anyone across Europe. So if we get the best version of that, if we get the commitment, fight and spirit that we got today, we can beat anyone. But it's going to be a massive challenge. I've got a lot of respect for Manchester City and how they play and what they do, but we'll be up for that challenge.
Yeah, we'll let you go as well, Callum, because you've got to get...
I think we need to clear things up right away, don't we? Wesley, was that your goal?
I think. Everyone tell me I touched the ball, so yeah. I don't know if I touched the ball, but it's me or Enzo. I'm happy because it was a good goal, it was important, and yeah, I'm happy.
We zoomed right in on the pictures, and it looks like you've got the faintest touch. Did you feel it?
To be honest, no. But everyone say they see the goal on the video, and I touched the ball, so I touched the ball.
We saw you were pointing to Enzo after it. What were you saying to him?
Because it was a good shot. We worked on that during the week, and yeah, it was a good shot. And yeah, I'm happy for him.
Mark, was Enzo claiming that one in the dressing room, though? Did he think it was his goal?
Yeah, I think so. He won the goal, but no, I think the effort today was really good. I think probably it's not our best moments after the last performance at home, but today we show that if we play together, if we fight together, we have really good level. So hopefully we can win a bit of confidence after this game, because next week we have a massive game.
Yeah, was the most important thing for Chelsea today to respond after 6 games without a win, 6 defeats in a row in the Premier League? Was this a much better response?
Yeah, for sure. We are not happy because we won the 3 points, but at the end, today we show that if we won, if we put our effort, if we fight together, we are a really good team. So hopefully we can learn from this game and we can play good these last games.
And it's a point which gets you closer to potentially securing European football. Why is that so important for Chelsea next season?
Because Chelsea is a big club. We have a big player in the big club, so we need to fight for that. We need to go Europe. I don't know if Champions League or Europa League.
Yeah, what did I make of the game? I think we started off really well, scored a goal, got a big chance from a set piece where we were close to scoring the 2-0. Then in a quite a large phase of the game we struggled to control their sixes, so they were constantly able to find them and then set up an attack. Unfortunately, like last week, we conceded a set piece, and that makes it really hard in a top game to win a game of football if you have a negative balance in set pieces, especially if you look at it. It was such a sloppy goal, or which word you want to use, but it wasn't a great cross and a header. It was just that no one touched it and it went in the second post. Second half, apart from the third minute where they scored, which was fractionally offside, I saw a team that had a completely different intent and a completely different intensity in terms of pressing. We were a few times close, as so many times this season, hit the post, hit the bar. But not enough to win, and that's why I ended in.
Back to London, start planning for that game, but we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Lovely, nice to meet you.
Well done. Boos here at Anfield, the fans not happy what they saw, but Peter, they did have the best of it, Liverpool, in the second half. They hit the woodwork a couple of times and did have more chances.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I think. Listen, I don't think it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I think they were kind of outmuscled at times. They huffed and puffed. As Szoboszlai, it always seems to be the main threat running it from distance. I think Rio Engamoa, when he was on the field, it was always a danger. You needed to get the ball out to him more. But I don't think they could handle Chelsea's kind of shape, really. Cucurella was so high, they found it consistently getting in down that kind of right-hand side. I felt a little bit sorry for Curtis Jones at times, kind of isolated out there. Chelsea are so fluid in their movement, it was hard to pick up the runners, and unfortunately Liverpool couldn't cope with it.
Did you really feel Chelsea deserved to take something away from here today?
Absolutely. I think a point was a good result. I thought, like Crouch said, Liverpool started well, and you really worried of Chelsea coming off the back of 6 defeats in the league. And they stuck in and they dug in. They showed a little bit of mettle coming to the game. And then I thought Cucurella was finding his position. He was playing 10 yards further up the pitch. Listen, he's a fullback, but he times his runs beautifully. You know, one thing I would do from a coaching perspective, I'd get all of the wingers and watch him off the ball. You know, and then their output would all, look at his position here. He's Chelsea. He's alongside João Pedro. He's the furthest up in the pitch, and that's because of the timing of his runs. He's aggressive, and that can be taught. That's not some players have got he's obviously got a natural feel to it. But I think all of Chelsea's wingers can improve on that, especially in the current climate when they're your wing forwards now, right? That's why he's in all the time.
Was that something, do you think, that they'd really decided to come here and target Frimpong and focus on that left-hand side and Liverpool's right at the back?
Yeah, I mean, they've had a difficult time, haven't they, down that right-hand side. We've had midfielders kind of filling in there most of the season. You know, for whatever reason, the fullbacks, I think, have struggled, and you had to play Frimpong higher up. And I think Cucurella is certainly an area of the pitch that Chelsea, with no doubt, have worked on. And they overloaded that area, and they consistently got in, and a lot of their chances came from down that side.
You said before the game that Liverpool needed to start well to really get the fans on side here, and they certainly did that, didn't they? And there was a lovely goal.
1 goal apiece and 1 point apiece at Anfield between Liverpool and Chelsea. Both of those goals came in the first 45 minutes. No way for either to win it in the second 45. Overall, what did you make of the way that the game flowed?
Well, I think you've got to say it's a fair result because I think Chelsea were the better team, had more opportunities. Second half, Liverpool had 1 or 2. Szoboszlai hit the post, but I don't think they created enough. I think both teams would have performed better in the second half. Liverpool limited Chelsea's chances, whereas the first half, particularly in between the right back and Konate, they had a few opportunities down there. But they were toothless. You know, as I said, without Isak's not fit, without Ekitike, without Salah, you know, so they're nice and neat. You know, Curtis Jones, they're neat in midfield, but we really didn't create enough to have won the game.
Yeah, 8 shots is the fewest at home for Liverpool in nearly 5 years. Chelsea only had 1 attempt in the second 45. The way in which they came back into the game in the at the end of the first half. Did you expect them to kind of carry that into the second?
I think that was a positive thing in terms of the first half. Going a goal down so early on, it could have been that kind of feeling of, oh no, here we go again. So it was nice to see a reaction. Like I said, on the balance of the game, I thought it was pretty even. Both teams huffed and puffed a little bit without creating too much. We had Enzo's opportunity, which we showed at half-time, which pulled off a good save, but in terms of clear-cut chances, not too many.
Why don't we recap the goals? Because one of them came just in the opening 6 minutes of the game. It came for Liverpool. Rio Ngamoa creating here. Ryan Gravenberch finishing.
Well, once again, he had a free kick, and Szoboszlai hits a great free kick normally, but of course Chelsea pushed forward. I said, take it again. They pushed in. Fortunately, they didn't. Chelsea are in a good defensive position, but he just takes too long to come out. Andre Santos takes too long, because you can see here they've got lots of men behind the ball. They're holding a good line. And as Gary's favourite word, scanning, you can see that he's scanning a lot. But from that position, Andre Santos has to come 5 yards further forward. Then he could have got closer to the shot. Because as you can see, he's seen 4 or 5 times. He's seen the space. When it gets to him, he's just a bit slow coming out. And it's a great strike, but I think the keeper will be disappointed because it wasn't right in the top corner.
Yeah, I think so. We spoke about him scanning, and obviously having, you say to young players, have a picture in your head. He certainly had that, and his first touch set him up perfectly to have the shot, which, like we said, I feel like he was visualising that moment. But from a defensive point of view, of course, as soon as that touch comes out of his feet, the next thought in his mind is to shoot. You've got to try and close that gap as quickly as possible. And yeah, the keeper will be slightly disappointed, I think, with that. But take nothing away from the finish. I thought it was a superb finish.
Another early goal conceded by Chelsea. That's 9 in the opening 10 minutes. The top in their Premier League history, an unwanted record. We spoke plenty in the build-up, Gary, about this Chelsea defence, and they found themselves 1 goal down already before the game really even gets going.
Yeah, and that's been the case, hasn't it? We spoke about kind of how easy they are to play against, and to conceding goals has been an issue for them of late. But you look at that stat and it makes me think, just, you know, be switched on in the start of the game. I always used to say about myself when I played, make the first pass, be in the right position, play your way into the game. It's almost like stay in the game. With the first 5 minutes to concede, it's an uphill task from then on. So it's a disappointing start, and it's something that Chelsea really need to work on now. Be harder, be more resilient to play against, and not concede sloppy goals.
Well, let's look at the goal and stay with you, Gary, because they did find, you know, their way back into the game. They kind of clawed their way back, and then this finish from Enzo Fernandez is quite superb from the free kick.
It was superb, and Fofana plays his part massively, because like I said, I think if he hadn't, he comes across there, he's out of the eye-line. Gravenberch doesn't see him coming, and the little nudge there creates that little bit of space. So Fofana's impact in the goal was huge. The delivery is a nice delivery. Of course, he's trying to put it in that danger zone. The goalkeeper can't react until now, which is too late.
Okay, somebody gets it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
But the interesting thing about that, he said it's a good delivery. If Fofana doesn't come and ease Gravenberch out of the way, Gravenberch just clears that, and then you can say it's a terrible free kick, or you got to clear the first man. So as much as, yes, it's gone in, for me, that is not a good free kick, because if Gravenberch is alive, that doesn't even go past him, and then you're going to go, everyone will say you've got to get it over the first man. So yes, it worked out for them. And once again, Fofana's come and he just pushed him out of the way. I mean, no one's looking for a free kick, but Fofana has just eased him out of the way for that to happen. But this is what people do in set pieces these days. We see Arsenal do it a lot.
You talked a lot about set pieces and their prominence. Liverpool, unfortunately, conceding set piece goals at an alarming rate, 18. Only Bournemouth have conceded more in the Premier League so far this season. I know you're saying it wasn't really a good free kick, but he's going to say he meant that all the way.
Well, interestingly, normally it's the in-swinger that if no one touches it goes in, that's an out-swinger. Yeah. And he never meant that. That's a cross coming in, and of course he's tried to swing at it. Other people should get at the end of it, so I'm not having it if he says he meant that.
When you look at it, concerns about Liverpool's defending at set pieces, obviously, and yet again found out here. John?
Yes, but I think that generally speaking, set pieces, a lot of clubs are now concentrating on set pieces. Liverpool are a big side, you know, they've got Van Dijk, Konate, but it's just, listen, when he lucks out, and that was a fortunate one. But you can't say Chelsea didn't deserve it, because they were the better team in the first half. They had clearer opportunities than that to have scored, which obviously they didn't. So, yeah, I suppose it evens itself out.
Very honest from Fofana there. Would you have tried to claim it?
Yeah. No, he said, I think his first worry is probably that he was offside. Maybe. He wasn't. But clearly you see on this image, I think, right, here we go now, it's clear he doesn't.
Put it this way, if you were a striker, you'd claim that. But defenders are more honest.
I feel like Gary would have tried, because he didn't score too many goals. He said, yes, he would have tried to claim it.
Yeah, but they haven't got that way about them. Strikers can lie very easily, but he would be very guilty in trying to claim it. We'll see through him.
It's hard to prove when you see it like that, though, so he's got no leg to stand on there. But like I said, he's played a huge part in it.
You're not lying right now, are you?
About?
You just said, you know.
Oh, well, you can never tell with the strikers, can you?
Let's look at the opportunities for Liverpool because they were denied twice by the woodwork in the second 45. This is the moment where John Szoboszlai hits the post.
Well, of course, anytime he's anywhere within 40 yards of what he's going to shoot, and here you can see it's a fantastic strike. The goalkeeper doesn't want to be beaten at the near post, so you can say, you know, if he was beaten, and I think he had it covered, if you see, but, you know, Dominic Szoboszlai, anywhere around from 30 yards, and he's going to look to shoot. So, yeah, he was unfortunate there. And this one, of course, Virgil van Dijk, he's asking for a penalty. In many respects, had he not had the header and not hit the post, then he could have, but, you know, yes, he's wrestling.
It's risky though, John, isn't it? It's risky.
And I suppose had he even just fallen down without even heading it, then he would have had, I don't think he should have had a better claim because you can see Caicedo's got his arms all around him. But I think for the fact that he had a clear head and he headed it, then he's asking for the penalty is probably what rescued it.
So Liverpool calling for a penalty there, they were not given one. And then at the other end, Chelsea thought they should have had a penalty. Let's look at this and get your thoughts on whether this should have been given.
So I've seen this a couple of times now. I don't think there's enough in it for me, and that's even with my Chelsea hat on. I think when the ball goes through here now, you'll see it better on a different angle. But I feel like Frimpong was in position, and João Pedro's almost got his leg. You'll see it on this angle, I'll explain it better now. There, he puts his leg across him. So Frimpong's got his body in position, and I think it's João Pedro that makes the movement across, and they just get a